Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to Jurassic Park Trespasser.
8 shots.
We're going to retrieve our guns at the beginning of the level, and we can already hear some mischief going on. Oh, yes. Fortunately, it looks like our T-Rex pal here already has something to eat, so as long as we kind of keep our distance, he's not going to be too much of an issue for us. Although we can watch him kind of bounce around jankily, as tends to happen in this game. So I mentioned at the end of the previous episode that this is probably my favorite level in the game. It kind of takes the elements of the previous level with that big residential complex and streamlines them a little bit, so we have sort of a harbor area that we're going into now that's a little bit smaller and easier to navigate. Of course, we're starting out with the T-Rex, so you would think we could only go down from there, but don't worry, it gets better. So as we've kind of gone through this playthrough, I've highlighted a few different elements about the game, from the development to the reception to the unfortunately canceled remake attempts to the fact that we've never gotten another game like this made officially, which is just mind-boggling to me. So, as we deal with a minor puzzle here,
Feels full.
chuck some guns over the fence so that we can get them later. We got a gate and a keypad. Oh boy. Take a look inside the bus here real quick. There might be something here for us. Oh yes, there is.
Full.
And there we go. So we got the code written down here. However, okay. 1 0 1 8. Okay, well apparently I hit it in the right order. The puzzle here was that it's not 1018, it's 8101, because you gotta imagine looking at the code in the rearview mirror. It's kind of a neat twist. But as it stands, I just hit random buttons on accident and it opened. So I guess there's that.
8 shots.
Oof, that looked painful. So we're going to take advantage of one of the strategies that I mentioned in a previous episode, which is chucking the guns that you want in front of you so that you can carry more than 2 items. Again, just that small change of a proper inventory system would have made this game a lot more enjoyable to play. And we got a green keycard pad there.
Main harbor for Site B.
8 shots. It hasn't been used.
Now, as you might imagine, there are going to be a few velociraptors running around here, and maybe even some things that aren't velociraptors, so we will take note of that.
Left.
Well, that's generous of them. Keycard right next to the keypad. Or keycard sensor, I guess it's not exactly a... Oh, now look what you've done.
7. 4.
There we go. Now, fortunately, like the previous level, we do tend to get a lot of guns on this one. And because the dinosaurs, as I mentioned, do not respawn, we can be pretty sure that they're going to generally be in the same place. Although they tend to behave differently sometimes. I know there's a guy around here. I think yeah, there he is.
Empty. Around 10.
Still, I'm going to check my corners and be careful. Just in case. Okay. One thing you'll notice is that there is actually location-based damage. So if you were to shoot the raptor twice in the head, That would do a lot more damage than shooting him in the foot repeatedly. Which honestly is a little bit surprising that that made it in, given, well, you know. Anyways. So I figured one of the things that we would talk about this time is how to actually acquire this game. I mentioned in, I think, the first episode that I still have my disc from when I was a youngin'. Very nice, very nice.
Feels
This game has never been released digitally, has never gotten a
left.
reprint as far as I know,
Feels full.
and probably never will get any of those things. Which is a shame. I mean, I think if you've been watching this far through the series, you see that there is potential here, and you know, even in the state that it's in, it is still worth playing. So in between episodes, I did a little bit of
Feels full.
reconnaissance for price checks,
8 left.
and it's looking like you're pretty much not going to be able to get the game
Hasn't been used.
for less than $40 or so American dollars.
8 shots.
And that's definitely gone up since when I looked at it originally. Of course, these things tend to get more expensive as time goes on because they're obviously not making new copies of it. So as of the time of recording, there are a few copies on Amazon, there are a few copies on eBay, and
6.
what's kind of funny is that there is, I mean, there are some that are like, here's the CD case and the game, which unfortunately is all I have. I threw out the box and the manual apparently long ago, although I definitely can't remember when or how that happened. But there was a new in-box copy that's going for like $700, which, I mean, don't get me wrong, I like this game, but no. So if you're looking for, you know, just the game, just the disc, you're probably looking at somewhere around 40 to 50 American dollars. For me personally, I mean,
Hasn't been used.
that might be worth it. I mean, you figure if you would be buying a new game, you would be paying that much, but for someone like me, hello, gonna need that. I typically don't buy games when they first come out. I buy them, you know, you wait a year, get the previous year's model on sale, right? That's kind of steep. I'm trying to think if I saw anywhere else where you could actually buy it, and I don't think so. I think it was pretty much eBay and Amazon, unless it's floating around somewhere else. I mentioned the Trescom website, which is sort of like a fan site
Feels full.
that has, you know, mods, scans of the manuals, and that sort of thing. I don't think that there is a way to get it through archive.org. There might be. I mean, this is one of those cases where I think it definitely qualifies as abandonware at this point.
End of the world.
I'm sure there's an ISO or something floating around out there. Obviously, I'm not going to encourage that, nor am I going to provide a link. I don't even know if such a thing exists, but I mean, I would assume that it probably does. I hear footsteps, and it's making me uncomfortable. But still, I would say that if you get the chance and you get the hankering, it is certainly well worth picking up. Shoot, maybe you'll be in a thrift store one day and you'll see a copy of it. In fact, on that note, I think that one of the sellers on Amazon was actually like Goodwill. But they sort of knew what they had and thus were charging like $60 for it. And that's pretty much it. Like I said, I imagine there's got to be an ISO floating around out there, but it's just a shame that, you know, we will, I'm sure, never see a reprint or a digital release of this game.
The Emily was a tug
Which is
for
too bad.
bringing in the bigger freighters.
Definitely too bad.
Occasionally we took it out to observe specimens from offshore, or to sweep the tide for traces of our operation.
I don't remember if you can actually get on that. I'm not going to try because it will end with me dying, I'm sure. Now, we haven't located him yet, but I'm pretty sure there's supposed to be a T-Rex, like, roaming around here somewhere. And the fact that he has not appeared kind of worries me a little bit. Oh, you know what? Going back to our previous point, it hadn't occurred to me. There is actually a website called myabandonware.com where you can find a lot of these old out-of-print CD-ROMs, like ISO files, and it might be worth checking there. Again, not going to provide a link, not going to encourage it. I don't know how the copyright works on this game, but yeah, it might be worth checking out. Anyways. Oh man, I hear something. I don't think it's just the Stegosaurus. Ah, yep, okay. Okay, remember, they can't enter buildings, so we should be safe in here. What we gotta try and do, though, is get him maybe over here. If we can shift his attention to the Stegosaurus, then we should be okay, but as of right now... Oh, yep, here he comes. Alright, we might be able to pull him over here and then run to the next warehouse. That's what we're gonna have to try. Let us hurry. Let us hurry. Okay, I think we're okay. I'm just not gonna turn around and look though. Ooh. Yeah, we're good. We're good. Okay. It sounds like he might have shifted attention to the Stegosaurus. Sorry, friend. I appreciate you making the ultimate sacrifice here. Yep. Alright, we should be good now. So, the AI is flawed, as I mentioned, but in some cases it does work. For instance, now, he's happily eating the Stegosaurus, and he's going to pretty much leave us alone, which is good. I think we actually only need the yellow key card to get in the door, not for anything else. So, we'll leave it there in case we need to come back for it. I mentioned in the previous episode that generally the key cards are only used once, but that's not always the case. In fact, I think in this episode we are going to have a key card that is used more than once. So don't be too trigger happy on throwing them away. And unfortunately, it's just one of those things that you have to know. You recall, however, that what we're actually looking for here is the green key card.
Looks like the contents of a warehouse.
Because that's what's going to open the gate to get us out of here.
Two German technicians were accused of conspiring to walk out with crucial research materials. They planned to breach the main computer vault and remove...
It's funny, running through here reminds me of running through, like, CS Office. Card is in the Atlantic. I wonder if that's a clue. It is. So, in the Atlantic, huh? Here's the thing, though. I'm pretty sure we're supposed to be in the Pacific Ocean, so if it's actually in the Atlantic Ocean, we're gonna have to go a long way to try and get it. Unless, of course, that's a hint. And it is. All right. Now, funnily enough, if you were doing this on a subsequent playthrough, I mean, as I am, but I'm not playing this as a speedrun or anything, you could actually bypass this entire section because all we get in here is the hint that the card is in the Atlantic.
Feels full.
All right, I'm pretty sure he's good over there, but just in case. Just in case. So Atlantic. I wonder if there's anything around here that could be Atlantic. I can't really think of anything at the moment, but let me know in the comments if you... Where did you come from? I actually don't know where he came from. Well, anyways. You know what we can do, though? We can go chuck our gun over to the gate so that it's waiting for us. And if you hadn't figured it out already, Atlantic. Aha. So we're going to go through a little jumping puzzle. Fortunately, the boxes are already stacked for us. We don't have to do any of the heavy lifting there. Although I think I have to jump on this, so I'm not sure how that's going to work exactly. Oh no, don't kill me. Alright, I guess that works. There we go. You know, all basic stuff by today's standards, but in 1988, or 1998, okay, in 1988 this would have been incredible. But in 1998, you know, you gotta think a little bit, I guess. And there's our key. Now, during a practice run, I actually had the board fall on me, and so I was not able to get back this way and just had to take fall damage. But it wasn't a big deal because, as I mentioned previously, there is regenerating health. So we're good. Alright. Let's take our MP5K, I think. Gotta wonder why they decided that a silenced submachine gun was necessary, but oh well. I guess it does kind of make sense from a lore perspective, because as I mentioned, these are like private security, you know, hunters and mercenaries. So kind of like in Jurassic Park 3, actually. It's very possible that they were just edgelords and thought it was cool to have, you know, silenced submachine guns. All right. I guess that's just the T-Rex. He's making a lot of noise down there. It's making me nervous. Making me nervous. So as with the previous level, actually exiting the harbor is not the final thing that we do. Got the music triggering at random points just to make me nervous again. Yep, he's still down there. He looks happy. Granted, the music is making it very difficult to listen for footsteps, which is, again, not great. Oh, we got Triceratops here. Let's see if he's going to clean house like the previous one did. Hey. Ooh, yep, that'll do it.
Feels full.
Go ahead and replace. I'm sure the Triceratops won't mind. So we're going to make our way to the actual lab section now. Shouldn't be too far down the road. And, well, mess around with some key cards some more. So that sounds fun. We good? I think we're good.
The main laboratory and administrative buildings. This was where we made our discovery, where the real magic trick happened. When they come to dig up our secrets, they'll come here.
Did I mention that the voice acting is really good? I mean, it's Richard Attenborough. It's bound to be good.
Site B was fully centralized and computer controlled. The same design that became the Achilles heel of Jurassic Park.
Gee, I wonder if we're supposed to go in there. I think there's a pretty good chance we are.
Feels full.
It was strange to move from the field, the hot sun, dirt on one's trouser cuffs, into the cool, sterile darkness of the lab.
Alright, we got a purple
Diagnostics,
key card that we're looking for.
security, all ran through the computer. Accordingly, computer security was paramount, the tightest on the island.
Aha. So this, I believe, is the key card that we're going to need multiple times.
Place looks mostly intact.
The sharp tang of preservative chemicals, the coolness and hush of the sterile chamber, the daily ritual of decontamination.
And once again, I don't think there's really anything in here, but we're going to check every room just for the heck of it. Even every stall. No stone unturned. There it is. I almost forgot where I dropped it for a second there. So what do you think? Do you think the devs were able to code a working elevator? I think we're going to take the stairs.
So this was all there was. Looks like a freshman science lab.
The centrifuge were...
Well, actually, Anne, if you would recall, he mentioned that most of the valuable stuff was stripped and taken, so it probably looked more impressive back in the day. Okay. Almost. Come on. There we go.
Feels full.
We actually are
Hasn't been
almost at the end
used.
of the level here, but, you know, waste not. I think we're going that way at the end. One thing I will give the game credit for is I haven't seen in my, admittedly not tons of playthroughs, but several playthroughs, I've not seen a point where a key card like glitches through a floor and soft locks you. I think that's what we actually need the card for, but we'll go ahead and get the rest of the doors with it as well. However, I have had cases where guns have gotten stuck in stairs and
Part of an empire.
in
The raptor
objects so that you're unable
claimed
to
itself utterly confident
get them.
of its right to be there, absolutely no consciousness that it was not the sovereign ruler of this earth.
That sounds like a velociraptor. Typical entitled velociraptors. Anything else super interesting over here? No. It does very much give a CS Office sort of impression, though, doesn't it? As I mentioned earlier. Or like one of those custom Counter-Strike maps that used assets from Office and was way too big for its own good. I used to always have fun downloading those and then just like running around and exploring. What can I say? Apparently I'm easily amused. I do like Jurassic Park Trespasser after all. Alright, let's check out the
Come on,
actual
Hammond.
objective here.
It's your office. Gotta be something here.
526327. Remember that. We're gonna need it. I
6
mean,
left.
obviously. Or they just randomly put a, you know, a code that you don't need. Oh, here we go. Hammond sure likes his multiple master bathrooms, doesn't he? I think that was everything in here, right? We can't get through that door. There we go.
Feels full.
Once again, I just have to highlight how unfortunate it is that there can't be dinosaurs in the buildings. Because that would make this a lot more intense. You know, you keypad or keycard, open the door, and there's a velociraptor standing right there. Alright, did you remember our code? Up, 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 up. Okay, you somehow managed that. And that's kind of convenient. Alright, the server room. Take note of that, of course. We gotta get the power on so that we can use the radio, remember. And the power switch to start the boot sequence is... there it is. I guess that's good enough. Alright, we'll follow the color chart.
It was in the last days of genetic recovery, and at this point, nothing was certain. Was the DNA there? Could we bring it back? Up the well? It was 3
Don't know why they
a.m.
had to make it this complicated.
The room was strewn with soda cans, and for the 100th time, we ran the extraction sequence. All my life I'd waited for something great, something extraordinary. And then
All right.
it opened up. The code read true. The barrier of time for an instant opened. Adrian and I stared into the monitor. Straight back through 65,000 centuries. Dennis, what are we looking at here?
Again, the voice acting is so good.
Typed. The world seemed to hold its breath. And for a moment we stood at the turning point between two great planetary eras. The million-year reign of man and the age of the dinosaurs.
Mm-hmm.
Activating systems. Satellite uplink. Connected. Local transmitter down. Attempting connection to mountaintop facility.
Perfect. You heard him. Her. It. AI voice. Mountaintop facility. So that's where we got to go. It doesn't directly specify this to you, but it does in fact open the gate over here. I mean, you would, I suppose, assume, because this is the only place left to go. Hey! You got what you want. So you don't bother me, I won't bother you. Okay, works for me. We got one last little physics puzzle here. I just know from previous experience that that door over there does not open. Think we can make that? Perfect. Alright everybody, once we get out the final gate here, that's going to end our episode. So as always, I want to thank you very much for watching. We got probably 2 episodes left, so look forward to next week, and I'll see you then. Out into the world.